Peace and blessings. I'm Giovanna Tisdale. Welcome back to Spiritual Love Tarot. It is a new month, which means it is time, well, beyond time for me to do my Major Key Divination reading. It starts out by me doing a monthly spread, and then throughout the month, each day, I pull a card, well, some cards, and that feeds into the overall theme for my life throughout the month. So I just wanted to share that practice with you. This is a journal that I made specifically for this spread, which I channeled from my ancestors and guides to really help me level up in life. And it has been just a beautiful practice for me. So let's get into it. I have not picked out the decks that I'm going to use yet. So actually I need to find the start for this month. Here we go. So this is what it looks like. I have a monthly deck selection page where I can choose the oracle decks that I'm going to work with, the tarot decks, and then that is the Major Key monthly divination spread. There are 4 different categories. And then each page or daily page looks like this, where I can pull the key energy and then break that down into different key areas in my life. At the time that I made this version, I was focused on money, devotion, which is my spiritual practices, business, and love, relationships. And sometimes I'll put like a particular relationship, like if it's with my children or self or whatever. So I do customize it, definitely based on the energies that I pull up in the Major Key monthly. I will sometimes cross these out and put something different. So that's just a little bit of how I work with the spread and how I choose my decks. So I do have a lot of decks, and so I'll kind of think about like what's happening this month, or sometimes I'll just randomly pull decks, or it'll just be the decks that I want to work with, or I'll kind of just sit and see if decks start to pop up, and those will be the ones that I grab. April is a big month. I know, I've got a lot going on financially, with business. There's a lot happening astrologically as well with the eclipse and retrograde. And so there's a lot of energy. So I am feeling called to pull out one of my astrology oracles, the career manifestation deck that I have, and Secrets of the Ancestors is what's coming up too. So I'm going to grab those decks and then figure out what monthly tarot deck. For my monthly oracle, I typically, where is it? Oh my goodness. I have an ancestral oracle deck that I made for, it's over there, that I made for myself. So I will tend to use that deck most of the time, and then sometimes I will substitute out the deck. So there's not a hard and fast, I have to work with these decks the whole entire time. I do switch it up just based on what I feel, what I need, and things of that nature. So I'm gonna grab my decks and start reading. So these are the decks that I grabbed. Sacred Creators is what came up for like the business aspect of things that I really want to focus on. This is my ancestral oracle that I created. My mom gave me this bag for it, and I just love it. It's so perfect. I pulled the Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle by Abiola Abrams. Sacred Creators is created by Chris Ann. The Black and Moon Astrology Oracle cards. I have not worked with this deck in a very long time, so I'm really excited to be pulling decks off of my shelves that I haven't used so that I can really connect with them. I don't even know if I've read with this. I don't know. Law of Positivism Oracle by Shireen Oberg. I really love this deck. It is a beautiful healing deck. When it comes to the tarot, I was torn between 2 decks. So the business class tarot, when I do business readings, especially with the Sacred Creators, this deck seems to be a really good one to work with. I got this a number of years ago, I believe from Etsy. It is by Anthony Dobransky, and the artist is Jamin Hoyle. Just a phenomenal deck. Not one that I use often, but I decided that I would pull it out this month. And I might really focus the key energy around my business and creative pursuits this month, just because that is something that I really am focused on. And because it's all about creativity and the magic of birthing stuff into the world through business, I thought that the Muse Tarot would also be a good one to work with. I have not worked with this deck in quite some time as well, so it will be fun to kind of go through, but I figured this one is all about creativity and being inspired. So that in conjunction, this is also by Chrisanne, so I think these two would work really beautifully together. So I don't know, maybe I will pull, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens as far as what decks I decide to stick with. But I think for now, this is a really good start. And I will get to shuffling and seeing what comes out for me for the month of April. So once I started writing, I decided that I would use the Muse Tarot and the Sacred Creators Oracle as my monthly decks, which feels very resonant for me right now. So the Major Key Oracle, I think I'll use the Black Moon Astrology cards. So there's that. Let's see, Guiding Energy. So I love using this as the healing oracle. It just always works really well. So I'll do the Law of Positivism for my healing path. I'm going to use the Secrets of the Ancestors as my spiritual path. And I still need one more deck for the Guiding Energy. So I do want to grab one of my business oracles to use for this. Is the deck that I was looking for. So it's beautiful for like abundance readings and things like that. So this is what I'm going to use for my Guiding Energy. And I forget what it's called. I think it's just the Career and Money Oracle. That one came from Etsy, from Marrakesh. They create these just all these different theme decks and they're amazing. I wish I could buy every last one of them. But okay, so I also need to find a way to label my pouches. I purchased a deck from a creator on Etsy, and she sent me these bags. She said it was cheaper to send like a whole set versus trying to ship one. So she sent me like all of these bags. I love that they're blue. They're my favorite color. And it's so funny that these came. I had no idea. So when the box came, I'm like, what? Where did this come from? Who sent this? But I was saying like I need some more bags to source some of my decks. So I need to find a way to label these so then I know what is on, what's inside of the pouch when I put my decks in there. So yeah, yay, lucky me. I love blue. These are so beautiful. Okay, got a little sidetracked. So I've got all my decks ready. I'm gonna put the business class back for now. But yeah, so let's see, April 2024. Let's start with the Guiding Energy, the Career and Money Oracle. And some of these are all out of, which way is up? We have no idea. That's okay. I'm just gonna take these as, I'll just take them how they come. Okay. So that did not go as planned. I got a call that interrupted things. It was good news, but it did interrupt my recording flow, but that is okay. I got some really interesting cards. I really love when I just trust the process of choosing my decks. I'm trying to make a little more space here. Because just, so one of the cards that came up, and this was my Major Key Energy, which is the Office. And I just recently acquired a space for my healing practice. And one of the things that it said is to think of the greater good than oneself to achieve a better outcome, which resonates with my human design profile. Like, being of service is what I am here to do, and really focusing on how am I able to serve allows things to be easeful for me. So that was really beautiful. Something else that stuck out was managing my time better, of course, right? I have all of this time right now, which is good, but also not good. And then something else was like, consider careers in administrative or management roles. And there's something in that kind of like clicked for me. I've not been in corporate America or in a like job environment in a while. And I definitely have an aversion to that for good reason. But I also know one of the things that I do not really desire to do is to work for someone else as a massage therapist. So one of the ways I'm looking at that is by, one, finding an alternative means of generating income, whether that is through my own like coaching and healing work, if I get back into business consulting or social media management. Finding something that I can do from my home office would be great, because that's what I'm used to. I also know that it's important for my work to revolve around my life and not the other way around. What I experienced in my last job was that work consumed my life to the point it took me out of my natural rhythms and routines. And that was very detrimental for me physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So I want to make sure that I am in a place. But when I look at this card, I see myself like sitting at a desk and doing things. So I feel like this is telling me, because my first thought when I wasn't trying to launch my business right now. It was just for me to start building my practice, to start driving awareness so that I could have the space the way that I wanted it, right? So that I could do the flooring, so that I could paint, so that I could go ahead and move the electric table in and all of these different things. But the process got accelerated due to no fault of my own. And it's not overwhelming. It's just an accelerated pace than what I was anticipating. And that's okay, because things happen, things change, and we just have to roll with it. So that's what came up for me with the office. There's something that I need to really sit with and consider what this means and how I can tap into this energy more, which I look forward to doing. I do have a lot of skills that I have learned since being in the marketing, online business world, doing social media and all of that. So perhaps I can be of assistance to another business owner, whether that's local or virtually, to help them with what they need to do. So that way I'm not overworking my body. After what I experienced in my last job, I literally don't want to be a massage therapist for anybody else, but I love doing massage. So there's this tug of war that's happening. It's very easy to get a job as a massage therapist because we are in demand. But what I find often is that most places, most employers are just, some of them are abusive. I'm gonna leave it at that. Not all of them. There's always going to be something, like with any job. And for me, not being able to do this type of healing work, because massage to me is healing work, in a space that is 100% reflective of what I need, is detrimental. So that's how I view it. And that could be because I came from energy healing into massage. And so I have a completely different perspective of what that should look like, what I desire it to be. Whereas a lot of therapists, they go at it from being a massage therapist and then branching out into healing modalities. So that could be the the difference why I'm just like, yeah, I'm not doing this working for anybody else. So I don't know. I don't know. So the next card, this is why I kept this open, so that I know which was which. Okay, here we go. The next card that I pulled, where is it? There. My major key. So the guiding energy is the office. So I know that there's something that I need to do around how I'm managing my time, how I'm making use of my office, being of some sort of support to the office, and thinking about the vision and how that's going to support the greater good. And I also feel like maybe this is someone, yeah, because I've been doing a lot of things. So I feel like this also can be someone signing off on something, granting me something that I've put in a request for. So that's another thing that I was seeing when I'm looking at the hand writing. The major key is the South Node. And woo, I thought this was so potent because of this eclipse that we have coming up. A lot of times when we hear about the South Node, we think it's, well, it is the aspects of us that can challenge us. A lot of times it's things that we need to release or grow from. But some of the things that came up, like on the card, it says life's debts. And the South Node is also known as the dragon's tail. So this is about creating new contacts and maybe even new contracts, which I'm seeing here with the office, as well as it marking a turning point and a need to align with your higher vision. My South Node is in Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of hard work and ambition and all of those things, which I can be really good at, and I can overwork myself. I can throw myself all the way into something and just get in it and do it. But that is not necessarily the best use of my energy. And of course, there are other aspects to Capricorn. So this is also about leaving your comfort zone, right? Our South Node is what we know, what we do, what we have mastered in another lifetime. And so sometimes it can feel uncomfortable to get out of that. And right, so sometimes that hard work could just be busy work. It might just be scrolling on social media or whatever. And so there's something here that's telling me it's time to expand. And so that means going towards my North Node, which is Cancer, which is all about healing and mothering and home and love and family and all of those things. So I do notice in my life, there's always that that balance at play because I am a single mother. So it's like, I feel like sometimes I have to work, I have to do all the things. So sometimes it's hard and I have to be conscious about stopping and carving out that time for that downtime, that nurturing time. So, which is really beautiful because in the spiritual path, we have Root of Earth, which also is aligned with High John the Conqueror, which is all about success and luck and prosperity. So this is about inspired action, which again feeds off of both of these cards because there's something I need to do. So this is telling me to take inspired action, take the next step. This isn't about sitting on ideas. It's about nurturing those ideas through action or whatever it is to see them bloom and blossom. I really love this card because it just screams Black boy joy, Black man joy. It is just absolutely touching and beautiful to see this imagery. So again, this is about taking inspired action, taking the next step. And it feels like coming after the South Node, it's in a line that's saying, I know what to do. So in alignment with the South Node, I know when my body needs to rest. This is all about resting your mind and your body. With, like I shared previously, what I've experienced was overwork and frankly disrespect as a professional. And so that's why I strongly do not desire to do massage working for someone else because of what I experienced. So I feel that Spirit is saying, rest your body do something else that allows you to take inspired action on your business. I know definitely I don't want to do full-time work as a massage therapist for anyone else. I would definitely be open to maybe some part-time work, but after what I experienced in my with the last employer, I'm just like over all of that. But this talks about rest, knowing when your body needs rest. It also mentioned like meditation and yoga nidra. And I had actually started doing yoga nidra recently because, again, I was not really getting rest. I was being overworked, just a lot of different things. So yoga nidra helped me to really relax the tension in my body without having to force anything. And it was just really beautiful as also a form of meditation as well. So I feel like Spirit is telling me part of my healing is to continue to rest my body, as well as to take care of my body, resting my body and my mind, not being overwhelmed with trying to do all of the things and just allowing things to blossom. Because also in my sleep state, I do get a lot of information through my dreams. So that's another aspect where I feel they're telling me like, rest more. We are giving you the steps to take with inspired action. We're telling you what to do, my child. So just rest. We've got you. And things are coming. Look at how everything is blossoming and alive in these two cards. So honestly, I'm feeling like there's not a lot that I need to worry about. I do feel there's a need to move away from the South Node, which again, I said mine was in Capricorn, and allow that to open me up. So it's like, whatever it is I need to do, or I have been doing, because maybe I've been doing too much behind the scenes stuff. And maybe it's time for me to step away from the computer, to get out of the office, whatever that may be or mean, and to really get out in the world, out in nature, and connect with other people, share with them what it is that I have to offer, and let that be what I do. So that is what my April is shaping up to be. And when I think about the eclipse, because eclipses, right, they're fated events that often bring either an ending or a beginning of a cycle. And so with the South Node here, I feel like this is a move away, for me, moving away from things that are hard, from things that are not in alignment with my higher vision, with my North Star, with the direction in which I'm supposed to be headed in. There's so many different things that are coming up in this reading for me. And because it gets to be so much, that's why I like recording these, because it makes it easier for me to like explain all the things that I am seeing. But there's so much light coming in. And I think just having the awareness of what is holding me back in a sense. And so with the South Node being, and again, it was talking about making new contacts, which I thought was really interesting. So with the South Node being my major key, I am going to really work with this energy, really sit down and look at how the astrology of the month, the eclipse, all of that, retrograde, how that is affecting me personally with this. So I will definitely be doing astrology study. I will do I guess a review and walkthrough on the decks that I'm using for this month, and probably do a deck study with the Muse Tarot, because I think I might have used this just for a handful of readings. This was one that has been in storage for a bit. So at least I know for April, I can talk to you about these decks as I'm working with them and all of that. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do a blog to go along with this, where I can just kind of house everything that I'm doing there, or just keep it specifically to the channel. I don't know. All of this is new to me, but I'm grateful to be sharing this experience with you. And let me know if you have any, like, noticed anything that, you know, might have jumped out at you while you were watching this. If you, I don't know, have a similar thing that you do for yourself each month. I know we're like a little into the month already, so I do have a few days to catch up with. But what I like is that sometimes, you know, because I didn't do April 1st, so I can go back and look at what happened that day and see how the cards may correlate with that. And a lot of times it teaches me things about astrology when I go back and I look and I'm like, okay, well, where was the moon, and what sign are we in, and what's happening astrologically. And so it's just, there's so many layers to divination and reading and all of these different systems and teachings that come in. So I look forward to exploring these cards more. I would love to stay and keep going, but I do have a meeting in a little while, so I'm going to go do that. Wishing you many blessings on your path, and I'll see you next time on Spiritual Love Tarot. Peace.